Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. So for this video, we're going to be covering some changes that have been added to the mining and smithing beta based on player feedback, which are things that we can actually end up seeing in the final build when it launches. So without any further ado, let's jump in right into the video. Let's go. So the mining and smithing beta has got some updates. Now I know the mining and smithing beta is actually coming to a close shortly, and a lot of these things you won't really necessarily get your hands on at the moment, but these are things that are expected for the final build, so the information we're going to discuss is still going to be useful by the time the update comes out. So without any further ado, let's just get started. First up, they now made it so firemaking actually has benefits within the mining and smithing rework. It now affects the actual heat mechanic. So the way it's going to work is your maximum heat is now going to be 300 plus 3 times your firemaking level plus 3 times your smithing level. Which, if assuming you have 99 firemaking and 99 smithing, you can cap your total heat at now 894. In addition to that, when you're heating your items, you're now going to gain 50 heats plus half your firemaking level and half your smithing level. That is per game tick. So again, assuming you're 99 firemaking and 99 smithing, and depending on how they round it, you're going to be gaining around 148 heat per game tick. So it's actually really good to see that actually being implemented, firemaking that is. It's a very underutilized skill, so seeing it have that utility is actually really good. Hopefully they start incorporating it into more skills, but at least for the mining smithing, this actually fits the thematics very well, and a lot of people probably were concerned or wondered why firemaking did not work for the heat mechanic. Well, it now does, and it will in the final build, so hopefully you enjoy that. Also, this is just something for people who are still part of the beta, but Max has now opened a boost shop next to the pull booth within the beta. This means that visual stat boosts are going to be working with mining and smithing, and they've added skill cape boosts for mining, smithing, firemaking, agility, and strength. Moving on, they now have given coal a use outside of being a secondary ingredient for steel and mithril. So basically the way coal will work now is a smithing auto heater has been added. Now this is an item that you can use while in your inventory or in your pocket slot. And when you run out of heat while smithing, it's going to consume coal from your hopper and refill your heat to 33% of your maximum heat. So what that means is by no means is coal going to be needed for the upper levels of mining and smithing, but it does allow for a much more laid back and AFK training method, seeing as you won't have to reheat your items as you're smithing them as often. You could just pop coal into the hopper, and assuming you have the auto heater in your inventory or worn in your pocket slot, then you can consistently keep heat on your item, pretty much being able to smith indefinitely. So that's actually a really good use. Hopefully it keeps the value of coal for those who want to AFK, and it's a nice alternative. You pay a little extra if you want to AFK, or you save money if you want to be a little more active with your smithing. I think it's a nice trade-off. Next up, they've added a new pickaxe that gives no ore but double XP. Now, if you're still playing the beta, it's going to be added to your bank, but it's also available in the pickaxe shop. As you would imagine, pretty straightforward, gives you no ore, but you get the double XP, so it's interesting to see how that's going to play out. Bear in mind that Rockertunities will not work with this pickaxe. Rockertunities is those occasional rocks that have a loot beam, and when you mine them, you get extra XP. You cannot partake in that with this new no ore double XP pickaxe, so keep that in mind. Next up, there's some tweaks to Rockertunities themselves. So Rockertunities are now going to give extra progress as well as extra experience. And there was a bug fix that made it so the Rockertunity loot beams now loop correctly. Apparently before they would only stay, the loot beam itself would stick around for only a little bit and then disappear. Bear in mind, guys, this is just for the beta. It's not going to be loot beams in the final build. They obviously don't have an animation that they want to go with as of right now. I know in the past they had that smoke cloud that would puff up. I'm not sure if they're going to still go with that in the final builds, but right now it's just loot beams. So if in case you're wondering what that is, the loot beam thing is just a placeholder for these Rockertunities, not going to be in the final build. The final change that has been made is smithing flow has had some changes. So basically, when you use a smithed item on a forge or anvil, it'll now open the Make X interface at the next upgrade. So assume you made like a rune plate body and then you used it on the anvil. It will now take you to the window to make a rune plate body +1. Makes more sense, assuming that's how they want players to train the smithing skill. They want you to upgrade the tiers, eventually obviously up to the decorated version where you hand in for XP. That's, you know, the whole intended way smithing's supposed to work out. And finally, smithing XP is now going to be given consistently throughout item creation, instead of the way it works previously where you would just get the XP as a huge chunk after you complete the item. So now you're going to be consistently getting XP, so it's going to feel a little more fluid in terms of how you're gaining XP while you're actually training the skill, instead of just hitting it, not getting anything until you finally make the item, and boom, you get a large chunk of XP. So it's more akin to mining now. Anyways, those are all the changes that we have with the beta as of right now. Again, still give your feedback to any of the JMods involved if you have any more concerns or you still want more things added to this. Overall, these are really good changes, which are more than likely going to be in the final build, so keep that in mind. And yeah, looking forward to this. Anyways, that wraps it up for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to stay up to date on things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I am out. Peace.